Well, merhaba, folks. You know what? There's no way I'm in frame right now. I should probably just get on my. There we go. There we go. Merhaba, folks. Welcome to Zeki Football. Turkey, also known as Turkey by the gringos like myself. Known for its beautiful sights, historical places, stray cats, curing baldness, but most importantly of all, a country known for its batshit soccer. So, given that I'm a massive fan of the country of Turkey, I like to self-identify as a Turkaboo. I also happen to like the sport of soccer, or football for the Europeans watching. I figured it would be a good idea to make a video introducing you all, for the English speakers in the house, the monolingua beta males, if you will, an introduction to the Turkish national team. So I've been following the Turkish national team pretty closely since the Euros last summer. So I feel like I can make a pretty comprehensive guide video, or an intro, if you will, to who's all playing for the Turkish national team nowadays, who's the regulars that you see consistently, who's the backups, who's probably going to make the World Cup, etc., etc. Now, the way I'm going to go about this is first I'm going to take you all through the regulars, like from what I have seen consistently get called up and play in games for Turkey since the Euros last summer. These are the regulars that are going to 99% make the World Cup, barring any injury problems, and that you're going to see at almost every game Turkey plays. And after that, we're going to kind of cover some rotation / injury backup players, also some youngsters that sometimes make the national team call up just to kind of give them a chance and see what they can do for the team. And I know there are going to be a few names that I don't talk about in this video that maybe might have a chance of getting a call up some way, somehow. But if I don't mention any of those players in this video, or a player that you're wanting to hear about, then that's why. I just have no confidence that they will make it to the World Cup squad or be relevant at all. So to start us off, we've got goalkeepers. Right now, I would say the starting goalkeeper for the Turkish national team is Urcan Shakir, who just made a move from Trabzonspor to Galatasaray. He's a very solid goalkeeper. He had a great season at Trabzonspor. However, Urcan Shakir, up until recently, was more so the second or even third choice goalkeeper for the national team. At the Euros last summer, Mert Günok was the first choice goalkeeper and played in every game at the Euros except for a loss to Portugal, in which Altay Bayındır, the other regular appearing goalkeeper, played and had this bonehead moment with Samet Akaydın. These are the three goalkeepers you can expect to routinely get called up for the national team. All right, on to center backs. So the Turkish national team's current starting center back pair these days seems to be Abdülkerim Bardakçı of Galatasaray, as well as Mehdi Demiral, who plays for Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. So these two you can expect to be the starting center back pairing for most games, with Çağlar Soyuncu of Fenerbahçe, as well as Samet Akaydın of Çaykur Rizespor as backups that routinely get called up as well. No hate to Samet Akaydın. He's had some good moments for the Turkish national team, as well as for the team I support, Fenerbahçe, whenever he played for us. But I do not understand how this man keeps getting called up for the Turkish national team, because he is not good. Now, I say that, but recently I discovered that the coach of the Turkish national team, Vincenzo Montella, is that right? Vincenzo Montella and Samet Akaydın actually both were at Adana Demirspor at the same time, so that's actually probably why that keeps happening. Speaking of the coach, I should probably mention that the coach of the Turkish national team is that of Vincenzo Montella. And yes, you have to say his name with a stereotypical bad Italian accent. That's a rule. He's been a very solid coach for the Turkish national team. Fullbacks. So we're going to go ahead and start with left backs, because there are very few to mention. Because if it were not for this man, Ferdi Kadıoğlu, the Turkish national team would have a serious left back issue. Ferdi Kadıoğlu, who plays for Brighton, he is the Turkish national team's go-to starting choice. Second choice would be that of Eren Elmalı, who is a left back for Galatasaray, recently moved there from Trabzonspor. Now, the thing with Eren Elmalı, ironically, is as of recording this video like 2 days ago, he has been suspended and got his call-up withdrawn from the Turkish national team due to being exposed for having a betting account in this massive Turkish betting scandal that's going on. So currently, he is not with the Turkish national team. I don't think players should be betting, and he should have some sort of punishment for this, but Eren Elmalı is a very solid left back and a great backup for Ferdi Kadıoğlu, and I hope this all works out by the time of the World Cup 2026, because I would like to have him in the squad as a backup for Ferdi. And moving on to the other side of the field, on the right side, we've got Mert Müldür, who plays for my club, Fenerbahçe, shout out, as well as Zeki Çelik, who is a right back for Italian club Roma, and has actually been on quite the hot streak lately, and has been I think he scored like his second ever or first ever goal for the national team and scored a goal recently for Roma. I'd say usually Mert Mulder is the starter typically. We'll actually see coming up here with this recent international break that we're in, because Mert Mulder has gotten significantly less playing time for Fenerbahce this season, whereas Zeki Çelik is on a bit of a hot streak, as I just mentioned. So maybe Zeki Çelik might be starting a few games and Mert Mulder might be on the bench for a few international call-ups. Next, going on to midfield, we've got the captain, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who plays for Inter Milan. As you can tell, this is why I wore this my Inter Milan jersey for this video. Normally it's hanging up right there. But yes, many would say before the rise of some other Turkish players that we're going to get to when we talk about forwards, Hakan Çalhanoğlu was without a doubt Turkey's best player and most valuable player. He is the captain of the national team. He has been playing with the national team for, I think he just had his 100th appearance recently in a game against Georgia, maybe it was, or Bulgaria. But yeah, Hakan is great. He's a great captain, very consistent for both club and country. He plays as a defensive midfielder for Inter Milan, and this season he's scored so damn much despite that he's in the running for top goal scorer, which is fucking insane. After that, I'd say our other starting midfielder along with Hakan Çalhanoğlu is usually that of Orkun Kokcu, who plays for Beşiktaş currently on loan from Benfica. Despite having a rough season with Beşiktaş so far, he is very consistent, a very good player, and yeah, like I said, he's usually starting alongside Hakan Çalhanoğlu in that midfield. In addition to that, we have Salih Özcan, who plays for Borussia Dortmund. Well, whenever he does get minutes, he doesn't get a lot of game time, so we'll put an asterisk there when we say plays for, as well as Ismail Yüksek, another Fenerbahce player. Galatasaray player also in the midfield, Kaan Ayhan, which is interesting. He always gets called up as a midfielder and played as a defensive midfielder for the national team, despite being a right back and center back for club, and currently is for Galatasaray. He never really plays in the midfield for Galatasaray, to my knowledge at least. All right, moving on to the forwards, which are probably the most notable names that some of you out there will recognize. Starting off, we've got the most valuable Turkish player in history, I'm pretty sure, Kenan Yıldız, who plays for Juventus, currently rumored to make a move to Chelsea, Real Madrid, Arsenal, I heard. I've got to say, in my opinion, I have not seen him put up too many good performances for the national team. That started to change in recent games. He had some good performances, but man, he definitely plays a lot more solidly and consistently for Juventus than he does for Turkey. After that, we've got the second most valuable Turkish player in history, and that is Arda Güler of Real Madrid. Don't need to explain much about him. He came from Fenerbahce, Turkish wonder kid. He's become an integral part of Xavi Alonso's Real Madrid this season. He is flourishing this season, which is perfect and just in time for Turkey for the World Cup. He typically plays attacking midfield for the Turkish national team, even though he prefers to play more deep in that center midfield position, and also can play as a right winger, but the Turkish national team has so many fucking wingers, left wingers, right wingers, which is, it's kind of a problem. These days, the right wing position for the Turkish national team is usually filled by either Oğuz Aydın of Fenerbahce or Yunus Akgün of Galatasaray. Both very solid players. They do a great job. I think they can both play either side of the wings. We've also got more so playing as a sub these days, İrfan Can Kahveci, who plays for Fenerbahce but has been frozen out of the squad. More info in my last video on that if you're curious. As well as youngster Can Uzun, who recently, when the transfer market updated their market value estimations, became the third most valuable Turk in history. He has had a great season so far over at Frankfurt. That's the club he plays for. He's a German-born Turk. He has scored like a crazy amount of goals that I didn't look at for this video. I'll put here. I think like after the first like 5 or 6 games of the season, he was right up there. He was number 2 after Harry Kane with like most goal contributions in top 5 leagues. He is going to be something in the future, but unfortunately he just got injured recently as of recording this video, so he won't be featured at these upcoming games that Turkey's got. Now, moving on to the striker position. Yeah, the Turkish national team currently is hurting in the striker position. So much so that the two players that normally play striker for the Turkish national team are wingers naturally and don't play striker at all for their club. I think Barış Alper Yılmaz, who is one of them, player of Galatasaray, I think he sometimes plays striker for Galatasaray, but he is naturally a winger. But he is one of the main strikers for Turkey. I would say he's probably the second choice to Kerem Aktürkoğlu, Fenerbahce player, who is also a winger turned striker out of desperation because the Turkish national team has no strikers to pick from, essentially. So yes, those are the regulars that you can expect to see pretty much at every call-up, and the familiar faces that you should learn, and the main squad right there. Moving on to the sometimes called up / injured / youngster potential players category thing. First up on my list is Okay Yokuşlu, who is a midfielder, and he plays for Trabzonspor currently. I think he also is capable of playing center back. He got some minutes at the Euros this past summer, but you don't see him get consistently called up nowadays. But he might, if injuries happen, or if he has a hot run of games, then you might see him get called up. Also got attacking midfielder Yusuf Yazıcı, who currently plays for Olympiacos. He also got some game time in the Euros this past summer, but I haven't seen him get called up since then, I don't think. Same with Okay Yokuşlu, as mentioned before. When it comes to goalkeepers, you've got Berke Özer, who, in my opinion, is the best Turkish goalkeeper out there currently. He plays for Lille, and he is so solid. He had a great season for Eyüpspor last season, has had a great start to life at Lille, and has had some great performances, including saving 3 penalties in a row that I'm sure a lot of you saw clips of. He actually, in the last international break, got into some conflict with the Turkish national team. Apparently, he was promised some game time, or he was promised that he was going to start for a game against Georgia, it was, maybe Bulgaria, and he didn't even get to be on the bench for that game. He wasn't even he was just left in the reserves, and so he just abruptly left the camp and went back to France or Istanbul or whatever, because I think they were in Bulgaria. So instead, they called up in the middle of that international window to replace him Muhammed Şengezer of Başakşehir, and he's another mention on this rotation list because he sometimes is called up as pretty much a 4th choice. Yeah, that's kind of the goalkeeping situation. The best goalkeeper Turkey has, in my opinion, is not getting called up for personal conflict, which is great. That's awesome, especially when you consider like all the other goalkeepers except for Rujan Çakır are not getting any game time at all right now. So in kind of the youngster category, we've got Yusuf Akçiçek, a center back for Al Hilal, who this past transfer window Fenerbahçe sold to for like $20 million, which was a thing that happened, I would rather him stay with Fenerbahçe, but it is what it is. Yeah, so Yusuf Akçiçek, he's currently, I think this recent call-up, he got called up for the under-21 squad, but he sometimes gets called up for the national team. We've also got Yasin Özcan, who made a summer transfer move from Kasımpaşa to Aston Villa, and then proceeded to get loaned out to Anderlecht to rot on the bench over there. So he's at a pretty rough spot in his career, not getting any game time, but he's a left back / center back who is got some potential. He's very young, but had some good performances, played consistently. He's got a high market value for his age. After that, we've got rapist Atakan Karazor. And no, I'm not kidding. I think he has an ongoing rape trial currently, which is why every picture you see with Atakan Karazor of Stuttgart, by the way, Stuttgart player. So I guess that says something about Stuttgart as a club as well. But he ongoing has a rape trial case for a rape accusation while he was in Spain, I think it was. And anytime the Turkish national team posts a picture of him or mentions him, is just the comments are filled with "get out of this team, we don't want a rapist here." So he hasn't actually made an official appearance for the national team, but he's been called up the past 5 international breaks in a row or something. So maybe he'll play at some point eventually, I don't know. After that, we've got, I'd say, 3rd choice left back, which is Mustafa Eski Hilaç, which earlier I mentioned Eren Elmalı is the 2nd choice left back, but recently got uncalled up, is that a word? Uncalled up for the Turkish national team due to a betting scandal going on in Turkey in which he was exposed for having a betting account. So instead, they rescinded his call up and instead called up Mustafa Eski Hilaç, which a few international breaks ago when Ferdi Kadıoğlu was injured, they called up him as well. So we can kind of put him in the 3rd choice left back category. He plays for Trabzonspor. I think he came from Gaziantepspor previous to that. So after that, we've got Deniz Gül, who's a striker who plays for Porto. And I genuinely believe the main reason he keeps getting called up is because the Turkish national team is down horrendously bad for a striker. And he is like one of only 2 potential natural strikers out there. And he has been getting barely any game time at all at Porto. So I think that's the only reason he gets called up, is because the team is desperate for a striker and desperate for him to turn out to be an elite striker and live up to his potential. In addition to that, recently Yusuf Sarı got called up. He's a winger for Başakşehir. And he's been called up a couple times and played for the Turkish national team, but this is the first time I've seen him get called up since I've been following the Turkish national team. So I guess we can potentially see him from time to time. And then we also got Ahmet Can Kaplan, who did get called up for the Euros this past summer, but didn't get any game time. He's a center back who plays for NEC. Do they say NEC? I don't know. I'm very ignorant with Dutch football. But he plays for them on loan for Ajax, so he's another young player on the younger side who has some potential, but has been having a rough time getting game time at Ajax. And I do not know how he's doing at NEC. Whatever. Weird club name. So to finish off this video, here's a few players that maybe could still get a call up. It's possible, but only if the team is desperate and has an injury crisis more so. So on that note, we've got Enes Ünal, who is a striker who plays for Bournemouth, and he has been injured for like the past year. So that's probably the main reason he hasn't gotten any call ups. But if he could stay healthy and stay consistent, would be a decent option of striker for the Turkish national team. But yeah, he's been injured since the entire time I've been following this team, essentially. So yeah, he could maybe get called up. We'll leave him in that category. And then maybe I could see as a bench option Cenk Tosun of Fenerbahce. He was a bench option at the Euros last summer. He got a little bit of game time and scored a goal for, I think it was a very important goal, actually, a winning goal. So shout out to Cenk. I love Cenk. He plays for Fenerbahce, but similar to Kafeci, is frozen out of the club. You can watch this video for more details. I should point here. You should watch this video if you want more info on that. In addition to that, we got Emre Mor, another Fenerbahce player who is frozen out of the squad. He has gotten called up before and actually got called up recently during a injury crisis that the national team was having. But he's a youngster that never really lived up to his potential, so maybe he could get called up. And after that, we've got Bertu Yildirim, who is another striker hopeful that got called up a couple times, and it seems that the Turkish national team gave up on him and moved on to Deniz Gül. So, but yeah, he got like a little bit of game time for the national team at this past year. Or no, I don't think he was called up for the Euros. I think for a few like Nation Leagues game, he got some game time. We've also got Semih Kılıçsoy, who got like literally 3 minutes of game time at the last Euros. He is on loan. He plays for Calgary on loan from Beşiktaş. He's a striker, but another like young potential. Please, dear God, live up to your potential striker, so that the national team has a striker option sort of player. In addition to that, we've got Ozan Kabak, who plays for Hoffenheim. He used to get called up more frequently, but hasn't in a while. He's a center back. Maybe could get called up. I don't know. And then we've also got left back Rıdvan Yılmaz of Beşiktaş, who used to get called up a couple times, but I guess the Turkish national team determined Ferdi was enough and that they did not need Rıdvan Yılmaz because it's been a long time since he's been called up at all. And there you have it, the Turkish national team for you. An introduction to it to get you ready for the World Cup 2026 if you are interested in this team like me, for whatever reason. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Comment below, I guess, which is your favorite Turkish player, I guess. I don't know. That's what YouTubers do. They ask you to comment below. So yeah, like this video and comment down below who's your favorite Turkish player. Yeah, fuck you. Goodbye.